Hi guys, it's me Karen, and I've come to do a picture in the ink house. And today I wanted to do at least the giraffe part. The table with all the little num-nums on it. Okay, this is Geraldine, I guess I can try to get the D out a little bit better. She is the giraffe and presides over the tea as an elegant and ever great hostess should be. So she is the gal who does the tea party. And then on the other page we have Herman, the hermit crab, who isn't the most popular guest, as he has been found guilty of dunking his cookies in other guests' tea. There's a little storyline that goes along with the pages here, and I love the story that goes with Mary Shelley here, and we'll have to get into that a little later. But I'm going to start off on this page here, so I'm going to lower the camera and we'll get into it. Okay, we're going to use Distress ink, of course, for this, and I've pulled out some underlying tones. The spots are going to be done in the brown tones, and then her underlying skin here is going to be done in a more of a creamy color. So what I've done is brought out Tan 1720, Baked Earth 1800, Saddle Brown 1740, and Bark 2000. And I put them on the little plastic sheet. This is a plastic cutting board, real thin thing I get at the dollar store in a big sheet, and I cut them down to go behind the paper in my coloring books. Leftover pieces I use as palettes. So this is our darkest color, the Bark, Saddle Brown, the Baked Earth, and then the Tan here. And I'm going to do her darkest portions first. I will throw in some white on this board because I use the white to make the creamy background for her coloration here. Now I've just picked a picture off of Google of a giraffe so I can kind of get the coloring right. Their spots are kind of really dark on their necks, and then they lighten up towards their face, and we do have a darkness here and on the little horns, and of course the nose area, so that is what I'm going to try to replicate. So I'm going to go in with the Saddle Brown first, and we're just going to cover the lightest areas of the spots. And just do all of them in the lighter brown first, and then we'll deepen the colors when I get down further. But we'll let these dry first. A little hard to get down in the corners here, but we'll manage. And they're odd-shaped spots, so if you kind of go out of the lines, it's not a big deal. And she's got one right here behind her ear. So this is all Saddle Brown. I'm going to go over all the dots with this. Just to give them color, and they go lighter on her face, so we'll just water them down a little bit more. So I hope everybody's doing well. We're having a nice day of weather here today. It's always interesting around here. The weather will jump from 60 to high 80s like one day. Boom. Okay, so far that's what we have. Now this area up here is darker, so what I'm going to do is take a little of the saddle brown and add in some of the bark and kind of make a mix here. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's all on the brush. And then we're just going to go in this area and give it a little bit darker coloring. Okay, we're going to let that dry. We're going to take some of the bark. This area up here is already dry, and we're going to darken around some of these areas, leaving the saddle brown as the highlighted spot. The colorist, our artist, has already given us kind of an area where he's shadowed, so we know where to put that. So I'm just following his guidelines on there. And remembering that this is very thin or a very short fur, but you don't want to have a, you want a rougher edge when you're blending these together. Tiny little spot there. I'm notorious for going out of the lines. And then just kind of dab it in on some of these. And then around his nosy down here, it's darker underneath the nose here. Lighter in the front here. And darker in the center. And we'll darken up his lower lip here. Sorry, it is a girl, Geraldine. Okay, now we're going to take the white and some of the saddle and mix them together, and it kind of makes this really light color. And if we add a bunch of water in there, we get kind of this nice little creamy color that I'm going to use as the base color of the giraffe. And if we run out, we just mix more. And we'll just lay it down. And we'll get some of that inside the ear here. And anywhere we have the really lightest spots. Okay, again we're going to have to let that dry a little bit because I want this a lot darker here and the spots a bit darker in the ear here. So that's just the saddle brown that I'm using there. We're going to take some of the baked earth here, and it's just a little bit redder tone, We're going to add some of that into the ear too. Okay, some of the saddle brown, and we're just going to darken where this crease is on her head. And then we want a shadow under here too, so I'll grab a little of that and shadow down here under her ear. We added in a little of the bark just to make it a little darker, just to make the shadow darker. I'm going to do that under her ear here too, and coming down there. Alright, we're going to mix these two quite a bit for a nice darker brown. We're just going to stick it in here. Just following his shadow line. We're also going to use a little tip of this on the fluff that comes up around her neck. And we're going to mix the tan and the baked earth here, a tiny bit of the white, and that'll be the rest of the fluff that comes up here. Add a little bit of that in the ear and a little bit of that down in the light areas. And I think that's looking pretty good. Really want to get this a little darker here. Just kind of dipping in that same color. And we'll go around her eye too. A little more darkness under there. I think she's pretty well done. Let her dry and see how she turns out here. There we go. And now we have to move on to the place setting here. Now, as far as I can tell, this table has this like metal lip on it that goes around, so that would have to be a ironwork or kind of a bronzy color. So while I have the browns out here, I'm going to do the books. So I'm going to take some of the tan and just run it across the bottom book. And I will add a little shadow there. And we'll take the baked earth, which is the redder tone, and we'll do the book on the top here. Easy peasy, and those are done. A little shadowing with the bark color, but most of that shadowing is already there. I might add a little more red into that book a little later. we have cherries, cupcakes. I think this is a cake in here with chocolate frosting, only because it's dark and I'm guessing chocolate. So I'm going to get out a couple of different colors for that, and I'll be right back. All right, we're going to go in with Willow. There seems to be some little sprinkles in here too, so I'm just going to add Willow in the darkest spots. I'll bring it up with the water brush, and I'm going to try to avoid the sprinkles that are in the frosting here. These are really gooey looking treats. And this one. There. And then we'll just get those. Chocolate it up. Makes a pretty good chocolate color. There we go. Ooey gooey chocolate, whatever they are. We've had the cakes done in teacups before. Just mixed up a little bit more of the same cream I used up in Geraldine's neck. And I'm going to do the cakes in that color. Now there isn't any cake showing in the cupcakes, so I don't have to worry about that. I think we'll bring in a nice pretty color for the, just putting in a little bit more of the brown just to accent the shadowed areas of the cake here. The cupcakes I think I'll do in a closer pink color, because we've got a lot of brown going on here. So what do you think? Are those cherries that we have? I'm pretty sure I have a cherry red or something. Oh, I do. It's called cherry. So let's see. We'll throw some of that in there. And she's nibbling on one up here. Kind of want to leave a white spot in there, or a lighter spot, just for the highlight of the cherry. And then hers. Boom, boom. Now for the frosting and the cupcake liners, this all depends. The table I want to do in browns and kind of a copper color here. Top of the table will probably be beige. We have woodwork up here, which I think I'll do in beige along with the whitish lines of the chairs. Now usually if they have stripes, they're either going to be blue or red, and I think I'll do them in blue, because I think I want to do the tea set in purple. At least some of that tea set. So what do we have in blues over here? We have bright blue. That's not what I want. I want a darker blue. So we'll go with a deep blue and a navy. Between those two, I might get a good look. So I'm going to scribble those down. One is really bright. And we will see what we come up with. So we'll just do the stripes on here. Kind of like that color. And you can tell that it's getting blue, so it's really dark. I'm going to throw in some of the brighter blue in there too, just to lighten it up a little bit. Be real careful over here and work kind of fast. Okay, so we'll go back in with the navy and darken just up here at the edges. Just because that's tucked underneath the bit there. And I'll just do the other chair. It's only got one stripe showing. Okay, this one a little more color on it. Then we'll let those dry. Okay. I don't know what color the sparkles on the cake should be. All right. And the roses probably should have some of that red in it too, so we'll just run the cherry over here and see what we get. One of the things I like about these Inktense, if you lay it down, it'll be dark in some spots, and then you just keep working the water around and you'll get the lighter spots. Gives you your own shading. And if you need more, you just pick some up and add some in. Just like that. I think that looks pretty good. If I want to have a better effect, I can go in with a little bit of pencil. But right now we are just seeing what we can get with these colors. So we're going to go in and get purple. We have deep violet, dark purple, I think deep violet, and a bit of dusky purple. We'll find out which one looks good. Ooh, dusky might be a little too dark, but just scribbled them down. Dusky purple is this absolutely gorgeous color. I love that. We're going to go ahead and put some of that down on here. Bring it out into the, what is this, the sugar bowl? Yeah, we'll just use that one. keep the darkness on one side. We'll just do that on all of these. Trying to remember that they are round, so adding a little highlight on both sides helps make it look round. So we're just going to go around and do that on all of the teapots, plates, and saucers. Covering up the existing kind of bluish color with purple. And we'll have to let these dry and go back over them a little bit. Really need to get watered down on those first. It helps move the ink around a little better. Darker inside. Adding water around there. Darker on this side because of the shadow. I'm running low on water here. Oh, there's another piece of book over there. I totally missed that. Okay, we'll let those dry. Let's see. Get kind of a, what color is this? A fuchsia. I'm going to do the cupcake papers with that. It's probably pretty pink. Just want to keep it on the papers, not into the frosting. Because pink wouldn't be bad for frosting, but To add a little bit more up here. And we can add some in the roses too. Okay. So I have to figure out what to do with the table and the back of the chairs. I'll be right back. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of blue and purple together and do the shadowing in here. I kind of tested it off camera and I kind of liked that look. It kind of brings this blue also in a little bit better to the picture. And I'm also going to use it just to shadow or darken the shadows on the cups and the plates. Okay. It's just the navy blue mixed with the dusky purple. And that just gives me a darker color with a tiny hint of the blue. Now it looks more blue in the shadowed areas because this was a darker blue to begin with. So that helps out. I'm using that to my advantage. Okay, well then we have to, I want a little of that over here. I'm going to have to do something about my frosting. Just going to add it on this side too. So I'm thinking I will just lighten up the pink, the cherry, or whatever pink I've got on my board here, with some white. And that'll be our frosting over there. So we'll go with the cherry. Just throw some white on the board here. Cherry would make it a really soft pink. And just kind of put that in there. Okay. Now the table is going to be done in, I'm going to go brown down here. I did the book piece too. I'm going to do the tops of these chairs though in the cream that I made earlier. So I'm just going to add water back to that and just do the woodwork on this in a really light color. I may just end up doing the table in this too. Yep, and there's a little arm over there. And then this one. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll do it in the light so it doesn't bring too much brown down here. So I'll just go in here and lay it down under the platters here. We want a little more dark, so I'll just bring in a little more of the tan here. And depending on how dark I get with this, we might end up with a brown table. Just gonna add the water in. I really want to do that in silver, but I don't know how yet. I don't have a silver Inktense pencil. So, gonna have to try to make it up. Get a little more shadow down here. Get it up the edge of the paper there. And then just the cream inside. Put a little shadow under this one too. A little more over here. Okay, and we'll let that dry. I'm going to add a little bit more of the, this is the tan, and just add some shadowing up here, down on the arms. And then on this one. Okay, this I'm going to have to do with pencil. I don't want to try to get the paintbrush in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the table the same color as the chairs. So a little of the tan and the cream color I had in here. Goes all the way around to that side. Okay. And inside each one of these little 8 things I have to paint because it sees through to the tabletop. Oh boy, these get really tiny over here. It doesn't matter if I get the ironwork too much, it'll make a nice shadow. I say now that I got it on there. Wasn't intending to, but since I did, happy accident. A little more in here. Okay. I would probably bring in some saddle brown for the dark shadows here. So I'll do that now. Okay, now the little beading work here is going to be the same color as this iron or brass plating around here, and I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to do the pot. Well, I've decided I'd get out my little set of paints here that are in the golds. I do have a sterling silver one, and I have this Inca gold is what I'm going to use for the ironwork things around here, and the little, these dots are like nails, nail heads, the little round things, or it could be beading, either one. I actually have a set of chairs and table like this kind of. Anyway, so I'm gonna try. I had to change brushes because well, I needed a finer point. And I'm gonna have to get my head down in here, but we're gonna try to do the table here. This does have a shine to it. So I'll be putting it on there, and then in between these little 8s, and then down on this little bit down here. And on these little bits down here. In the crack over here. Trying to just go on the dots because this is an opaque paint. It will cover up the black lines. I have smaller brushes, but I thought this one would work okay. And there is a shine to this, so it will definitely look metal. Anyway, I don't know how much of this you want to see me do. It's a little tedious. And yeah, I'm going to mess up, so no big deal. And we're going to go around the whole thing. And then I will debate on this. When I get back, you will see all this work done. Okay, all the metal work is done. I don't know if you can see the shine on that. I'd have to lift up the book a little better, but we're going to work on the little silver dish over here. And what I did is I just brought in some of the silver, really watered down, and painted that on there. So you have a little bit of a shine. And then I brought it over to my palette where I have a little bit of natural gray, and I'm mixing the two. No idea how this is going to work, but I'm going to add it in the shadowed areas here. And lift some of that up if I can. water maybe. There we go. Wanted it a little brighter there. Okay. Enough playing around with that. I will tilt the book and let you see the shine on that. Okay, so we've got the metal look going around the table. The little silver guy has to dry a little bit more, but you can see the shine on him too. And then all the little nail heads are all done in the shine. I also put a little bit on the book. There are little book plates here and a little medallion, so trying to be a little more cohesive with the colors I bring in. So we have the pinks, the purples and the blues and the golds down here, and then of course she is a gorgeous color up there also. Now I wouldn't put gold on her, but I'm almost thinking I could put a tiny bit on her eyelashes. Why not? She's a hostess. She has her makeup done, right? So I'm going to add a little on her eyelashes, just a little bit. Right here. Like eyeliner. And then I'll add a little water and just kind of blend it a little bit better. There we go. She's got a little bit of highlight on her eye. Maybe somewhere you can get that. There we go. I'm going to bring in some pencils and do some shading. Just a tiny bit. Not much, but I think the teapots and stuff need a little bit. Be right back. Okay, so I got the Sargent Art Supremes out, and I have a dark violet, I have a dark brown, a burnt sienna, and a light brown. So we're going to do the dark violet and just kind of add some shadowing here on the teapots. And all the teacups, so just kind of highlighting the areas that they're already shadowed. This cake seems to be kind of poking over the edge, so we're going to add some shadow under that, and the frosting that's coming down gets a little bit underneath it also. And just adding a touch of shadow onto everything that's purple. I'll bring in a little white and bring that down. That'll be Prisma color. We'll add a little purple just on the sides of these cupcake wrappers, just for a bit of a shadow on them. Okay, should have brought in some blue. I noticed I didn't get the blue stripes down here, so we will get those. There's some on the cushion on the bottom. So down here. And one over here. You can barely see it, but it's there. Okay. And then I brought in some browns. We can do some highlighting on the back wood. Just darken up some areas. This is the light brown. It just helps it stand out a little bit more. We don't want to go too dark on those, but I wanted to add in some of the color. Okay, and in Geraldine, we wanted to add a little more shadowing in her also. So I'm just going to go through with all three colors on her. So this is the light brown. Just anywhere I want to add just a tiny bit more definition in her fur. Hair. I think it's hair because it's so short. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I have to get the purple out of my hand before I grab that. Gonna go in with the dark brown. And any of these areas we want to define a little, or if I didn't get the inking all the way down to the bottom. In her ear also. And we're going to darken up her nose a bit. I don't think it quite got dark enough. Okay, then we'll also bring in some of the burnt sienna. I have a question for y'all. Now, is she placing the cherry on the cupcake or is she eating it? Remember, she's the hostess. I wasn't quite sure. I'm just going to add some of this darkness in here. Because the tip of their noses are darker than their foreheads. So I really want to get it darker down here. Just a very light touch with these pencils. So we've already roughened up the tooth of the paper with the Inktense in the water, so And I need a tan. I wonder if I have a really light brown in here. I have maize and tan, so between those I'll probably get a nice light color here. That works well. This is the maize. And then the tan, just a little more yellow in it. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm just running it along the edge up here and bringing it down into the color I laid down with the ink, and then any pieces I missed in her mainish area. Okay, and I think we are done. Add a little more in there so it's multicolored. Okay. That's it. I don't even know if I'm going to do an inking on the back of this one now. So I'm going to call this video done, and I'm going to put all these pencils down in the description box. There's a lot of them around here, but we are done with our shine on the wood or the metal work, and I'll give you another look at that. Well, then you can see the paper through it, and we gave her a little on her eye, but I colored over it a little bit so it doesn't look too pronounced. And the only thing I didn't do were the sprinkles. Darn it. Okay, sprinkles really quick. What color do I have? I'm just going to put my watercolor, my brush in here. I have this pinky color, and I'm going to throw it over here with some of this purple in the white with the red cherry, and we're going to come up with some strange color here. Oh, we'll put some of that silver up here too. And then we'll just give them a quick little coloring on there. There we go. There. Okay, thanks you guys for watching. I will leave a picture at the end of the video of the whole thing. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video. If you like these kind of videos, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell if you want notifications, and I will see you later. Take care, everyone. Bye now.